Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caroline and today I have a health update. Before we get into it, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on notification, like this video, share the video, and of course you can also go follow me on my Instagram that's also called The Art of Being Ill. So today's video is a little bit of a health update for me, and I had last year I had about 3 months where I had bowel pain and stomach pain every single night. Every night after a few hours after I went to bed, I would have to get up and get my heating pad and lie with that and just wait for it to be over, and then I could go back to sleep. And that passed, and I've actually been doing really well since. It was like the spring last year. And then last week, it started to come back. And I know from last time that there is absolutely no reason for me to call a doctor, because last time they did a lot of different examinations of me, and there was absolutely no signs of my Crohn's disease or anything else that could cause the pain other than the fact that I had Crohn's disease. And then sometimes, you have pain in your stomach and your bowel, and that's just what it is. And so there was really not anything else to do than, cover the pain with a heating pad and some painkillers if necessary. And so that's what I did for 3 months, and now it's back. The last 2 nights I have had to get up and get my heating pad and literally just lie with it, and it is so annoying. I was doing so well, and now it's like every night my bowel is just not happy, and I have to get my heating pad and lie with that. And sometimes I can fall asleep with the heating pad, but sometimes I watch YouTube or something, something not too serious to just distract myself. And I have to say, I cannot, it's just overwhelming for me to think about how long it took last time before I was okay. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, is this going to be my life now for the next 3 months? And I'm afraid it is. I'm afraid this is not going to pass. So I'm afraid that it's going to take a while. I've been doing some thinking, because sometimes, the reason why we end up having these situations where we have a flare or some sort of a symptom or a side effect or something to our illnesses is often, if we sit down and think about it, we might be able to find a reason for it. And I have concluded that I think my reason is that I do too much. Of course, I have my job, my flex job, where I work 16 hours a week, and I have Wednesdays off, and that's really good for me. But at the same time, I don't have the same level of anxiety that I did just a few years back, where I could hardly leave my house. I didn't want to see people because I was afraid of being near them, because I was afraid they would be contagious with COVID or anything else for that matter. And I don't really have that anymore. I still think about it. If I see someone coughing, I'm like, oh God, please don't make me sick. I still get that, but I'm not as anxious as I was, and I go out way more with my friends and family than I have in a really long time. And I think that's the reason. I think it's too much. It's too much to work and then be social on the weekends. And also, cook and clean and, do laundry and the things we also need to do. So I have to admit, I think the fact that I've been doing well for so long has caused me to overdo it. And that is probably the reason I am where I am right now. And it makes me sad, right? because even when we are doing well, there are consequences. We cannot, just because we're doing well doesn't mean we can do more, because if we do, then we go back to square one. And that makes me really, really sad. It makes me sad that I just can't do the same things as everyone else. I just, it's not a possibility for me. And it makes me really sad. And you probably know this, because what I have had to do is I have had to cancel some plans. Right now we have a winter vacation we have in Denmark, so the schools are closed, so therefore I don't have to work this week. But I did have a lot of plans that I was looking forward to, and I've had to cancel most of them. There are not all of them, because I do want to go out, and sometimes your plans involve people you may not have seen for a long time or something like that. But I've had to really dial down my social life in my vacation, because I just need to slow down. And I know that from next week, when I am back to work, I know that I'm gonna have to have a few weekends where I am antisocial, where I don't have any plans other than just being at home, and of course maybe do some cleaning and laundry and stuff like that. But I know I'm gonna have to have X amount of weekends now where it's like, unless it's really important, like someone's birthday or whatever, where it's like you want to show up because you want to celebrate that person or whatever. I know that I'm gonna have to be very antisocial for a while now in the weekends, and that sucks. And what sucks most about it is that I have to work. I have to prioritize work. I have to prioritize, of course, cleaning and cooking meals and doing my laundry and all that stuff. So the only thing I really have that I feel like I can just stop doing for a while is my social life. And that's really sad, because then you get into this cycle of just being at home and being tired, feeling like you're missing out, being reminded that you're just not like other people. And it really, really sucks. But I also know that's what I have to do, and I am paying the price for being too optimistic for quite a while now. So I have to start being less optimistic about what I can do and what I can't do. And that's hard, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So that's what I have to do, and I'm trying to be kind to myself. I'm trying to tell myself that, of course, this is not my fault. But it's important that I start to listen to my body and let myself just have days on the couch where I don't need to do anything. Just because you planned on vacuuming one day and then you just don't have the energy for it, who cares, right? And just be kind and loving towards myself. And this also involves remembering to still move your body, because my bowel needs the exercise, because it helps with the movement of the bowel. And I can tell that I'm having a lot of gas and a lot of diarrhea, so there it is something with the movement of my bowel, maybe something I ate. So I have to have a period of time where being kind to myself is also making sure that I do exercise, not necessarily really hard, intense exercise, but exercise, taking a walk. And I have to eat well, and I have to eat more clean than maybe I usually do. So I have to get a little more strict with my diet. And this can sound like, is that being kind to yourself? But yes, it is, because that's what I personally know my bowel needs when it's feeling like this. And also getting a lot of rest. And one thing that I do, that I also practiced last time I had this period of time where my bowel was just in pain, it's always during the night. And that's really annoying, but my doctor said it's not unusual, because when you are sleeping, your body and your mind is not being distracted by other things. So technically your bowel may be hurting and may be unbalanced during the day, but because you are at work, talking to people, you watch TV, whatever, you're a little more distracted from the pain, so therefore you really feel it at night. But what I do is that I know for a fact that I have to get up and get my heating pad and lie with the heating pad for X amount of time. So what I will do is I will go to bed even earlier than usual, depending on whether or not I have to get up the next morning, because it doesn't really matter if I don't have to get up, because then I can just sleep longer. But if I have to get up the next morning for work or something, I will go to bed ridiculously early. We are talking, I have to get up at 6 a.m. We are talking about going to bed maybe at 7 a.m. 7 p.m. Because then I know I can sleep for a few hours before my bowel starts to react. And then let's say maybe I wake up around 9 or 10 p.m. and then I get up and get my heating pad, and then I lie with that for a while, maybe an hour, and then I can go back to sleep and still get a lot of consistent sleep for at least 6-7 hours. So that's a way for me to make sure I still get enough sleep. It sucks because it makes your day even shorter than it already is when you're chronically ill, but it's just something I have to do because I need my sleep. I suffer a lot from fatigue, so not getting my sleep is not an option. So these are the things that I need to do for a period of time now, and hopefully it will pass. It usually does, and if it doesn't, I probably should call my doctor in the hospital, but that's some of the things that I'm just gonna have to do, and it sucks. I need to be very kind to myself and turn down all the fun things I was supposed to do and only work, eat, sleep, exercise a little bit, and just do the bare minimum. And hopefully this will teach me that the next time I feel very stable and I'm feeling quite well for a while, maybe this will remind me that don't fool yourself, you're not well, so take it easy. Maybe I will be able to avoid this in the future. Who knows? So overall, I spent my nights with bowel pain and stomach pain, and I am gonna have to get a more boring life for a while now, and that sucks. But if you are in the same situation as me, where you are experiencing symptoms or flares that may not be enough to make you really sick and need to call in sick and be on sick leave and stuff, but enough to make your life more hard than it already is, let this be a reminder that your health is important and you need to be kind to yourself, whatever that means to you. Slow down, eat well, exercise if that's something you feel is making it better. Get your sleep, even if you have to go to bed really early, because otherwise you're not going to get enough sleep, whatever. Like, be kind to yourself and loving, and try not to blame yourself too much. If it's like me, where I know this is because I overdid it for a while, don't do the blame game. There's no reason to blame yourself because our bodies are so unpredictable. So be kind and loving to yourself and do what you know you have to do. The more kind you are to yourself, the faster this mini flare will pass, or a full-blown flare will pass if we're just kind to ourselves. So always be kind to yourself in these situations. But that was just a little health update on my part. So have a blessed rest of the day. I will see you next time right here on my channel, The Art of Being Ill.